Good afternoon. My name is Elizabeth Gapo, and I have a question for everyone out there today. I would like to know if anyone has ever felt like they were being micromanaged at their workplace. Now, I'm sure that all of you have experienced some degree of micromanagement throughout your professional careers, and that's actually one of the things that I would change about the organization that I work for if I had the ability to. I am a nutritionist and certified diabetes educator, and I work with a group of certified diabetes educators, or CDEs. And some of us, have a background in nutrition like myself. Others have a background in either nursing or public health. But we are all educated professionals, and what we do is we provide telephonic diabetes education to people across the country living with diabetes. And we do this to help increase knowledge about diabetes and help people manage this chronic condition as best as possible. Now, when I first started with the company 2 years ago, the program was fairly new, so we really didn't have a sophisticated process in place to be able to conduct our work and track productivity, track outcomes. But throughout the past 2 years, since our program has grown so much and really taken off, we've hired more CDEs, and with that, we've had to make a lot of changes in our process. So one of the changes that has been made is the way that that management tracks our workflow. Obviously, since we do telephonic education, most of our work is conducted over the phone. So every morning when we start our workday, we log into our phone extension, which is technically like clocking in, and then at the end of the day we log out, which that process has always been in place, and that really doesn't bother most of us. But recently a new process has been implemented where we actually need to put in codes into our phone system depending on the different things that we may be doing throughout the time that we're working. So for example, there's different codes depending on what we're going to be doing. There's a code for bathroom break, there's a code for a personal break, there's a code that we need to put in if we're going to be going to a meeting or being on a conference call, if we're going to be away at a training. There's a code for technical issues with help desk. So there's basically a code for anything that could possibly come up. And as you can imagine, a lot of us, when we first were notified of this new change that was going to be implemented, we were not too happy, because a lot of us felt that we're professionals, we're responsible, we get our work done, we're very productive. So we kind of felt a little bit like maybe we weren't being trusted, maybe they wanted to just track every little single thing that we did throughout the day or that we didn't do. And a lot of us felt that micromanagement that we weren't too happy with. Now, one good thing I will say about my company is that they are very open to listening to their employees. And when we first were notified of this change, as a team, we discussed it, and we were pretty much all on the same page as to not being happy with the new changes that were going to be implemented. So we did voice our opinion to our manager and our supervisor, and they did listen, and they were very open to what we had to say. And I think that as a result of that communication between us, that some changes will be made, some positive changes will be made. So I think that one of the things that most managers need to keep in mind is that you do need to give your employees some flexibility. You do need to be able to compromise, and I think that's what we're trying to do currently. We're trying to compromise where the CDEs are happy, they're not feeling like they're being watched extremely closely. I think that we want to feel like we're respected as individuals of the company and as the professionals that we are, and we want to be trusted because we know we can be trusted, and we know that we are responsible to do our work. So I think that right now we're trying to come to a better compromise where management can still track everything they need to track, but maybe with a different system or with a somewhat modified system. Now, I don't know if any of you can relate to any of the things that I mentioned throughout this presentation, but if you can relate to anything that I've said, or if you have experienced micromanagement, maybe you can share your experience just by posting a comment to this video. And I think that the take-home message here is, as we become managers, we need to be able to give our employees respect and trust so that they can be employees that will be loyal to the company and stay around for a long time. So I think that that's our goal as we become managers in the future. Just try to steer away from micromanagement. Thank you very much for your time.